Welcome everybody to Wall Street Reporter's next Super Stock live stream from March 17th, 2021. We are back with Victory Square VST on the CSE, VSQTF over the counter. We're going to be speaking with Shafin Diamond, the CEO. Excuse me, Shafin Diamond Tejani, the CEO. And for anybody that's new to our program, our goal is to bring you those stocks which have that 10x to 100x upside potential. So again, these are companies going after massive market opportunities, multi-billion-dollar opportunities, multiple catalysts in place, and really at that key inflection point. So, Shafin, welcome back. I think you got the catalysts are starting to happen for VST this week.
Just getting started.
Okay.
So I think that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it froze up.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no. Yeah, catalysts. I mean, there's a number of catalysts. I think we've kind of talked about it before. There's so much in the hopper, and so slowly some of the stuff that we had sitting around in the basement is coming to light now. So.
You got these, you got the unicorn farm. There are now, you're starting to harvest these unicorns. You got $6 million coming in from VPN this week.
Yep.
You announced you got $1.5 million from a warrant exercise and a blockchain. Walk us through those things and what is that? Is that an indication of what else is hidden in the VST?
We've put this out.
Hang on. Sure.
Sorry, I don't know why I keep.
Okay, wait. Hello. You there?
Yeah. Is it?
It freezes up. I don't know, for some reason on your end it's freezing up all the good stuff. It freezes up on.
Yeah. Sorry. Is it still frozen?
No, it's a little bit. It's a little bit slow. Do you want to maybe log out and come back in? Maybe that will help.
Yeah, let me do that.
Are you using Wi-Fi or is it a
Wi-Fi?
It's Wi-Fi. It could be the Wi-Fi.
Let me pop out.
Okay. I'll be standing by. Okay. All right, stand by, everybody. This is going to be very worth your while. Great things happening at VST.
Is good?
I think it's a little better. Okay, so let's try again because we got some there's too many good things happening. Okay, give us the kind of details on the VPN deal, the blockchain, the warranty exercise, the Argo thing.
Yeah.
What's happening over there?
So, I think we've talked about this. We've got a bunch of different projects, some that we've kind of communicated to the market, others, which is just software and technology and IP kind of being built, in VST. And so the VPN was one of those products that we've had in the hopper for a couple of years now. And we were kind of looking forward, I think decentralization, privacy, these are all big issues now, but these are technologies that we are building. We've been building for a couple of years now. And so there was an opportunity for us to take that IP, which wasn't showing up on our books, and sell it to another publicly traded company. And for VST, it's great because we're able to take something that, was being built that's not showing up on our balance sheet, converted it and kind of handed off to a company, which was Cloud9 Education CNI, where they've got the capital and the resources to grow and scale that business. And for VST and VST shareholders, we're taking equity in that company. So as well as it does, there's liquidity, and it crystallizes a value on our books. And that's one of a number of, kind of examples. Argo was another one, which was a blockchain company that we've, it's traded on the LSE, London Stock Exchange. Market cap's under $1 billion. Started in our office, Launch Academy, in 2017. And we provided advisory services for this company early on, and those warrants, I mean, to put this in perspective, the exercise cost is about $49,000 Canadian. The market value is 1.5 million. And again, two examples. We announced a release, I think earlier, it might have just come out, where there's about 6 or 7 other projects that we've been working on that are going to be kind of on deck next. So you've heard about Fans, you've heard about Game On, you've heard about Immersive, and now we're hearing about the Argo warrants and the VPN. But there's a number of other projects that we're going to be bringing to light soon. So.
Okay, so it's not. I mean, it's very exciting that there's constantly this. You're creating this. You're monetizing. These investments. So and this shareholder value being created. And I think it's important to emphasize that you basically have, again, we call it this unicorn farm. Multiple shots on goal. You have 20 plus portfolio companies right now.
Correct,
in Victory Square.
Yep. And it's not only that there's over 20 portfolio companies, but the other part of it too is these are companies, in addition to investors getting access to a diverse portfolio of themes. These are themes that are not only relevant today, but we're already thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ahead. So, in this portfolio, not only is an investor getting, a hedged exposure or diverse exposure to a number of really, really good products, but they're not one-offs. They're not, what's hot today. These are a number of companies that are going to hit catalysts either this week, this month, this year, or next year and onwards. And we're looking at disruptive technology like robotics and DNA sequencing, blockchain, AI. So things that are not going away. I was having a conversation with someone. And
it's essentially you're really like the ARC. You're like an early stage ARC. You're like the Kathy Wood, but with a beard.
Yeah, with a beard. Kathy Wood. Well, I mean, and mad props to her. She's unbelievable. The investment thesis they have and the results that they've delivered are great. And I tell some people, Victory Square is kind of like this stock that you put a ring on it. It's your forever stock. It's not that summer fling or winter fling. It's your forever stock. You buy it and you hold it, and it'll continue to produce results year after year. So
you have so essentially your focus is on these cutting edge, the technologies of the future, disruptive technologies. For anybody new, let's just kind of give a recap of the segments that you're in. A couple of the companies. I mean, I don't know if we're not going to have time to go through all 20, but give us the main one, the ones that are kind of top of mind at the moment.
So right now, big focuses for us are digital health. Everything around quality of life. So digital health, gaming and esports is big with Game On and Fans Unite. Blockchain is a big focus of ours and everything around that crypto space. So, the Cloud9 company, Covalent kind of fits within that. Virtual and augmented reality is something that we have a big anchor in. So Immersive Tech, which I think you'll be hearing about very soon. Cybersecurity. So pretty much next generation internet and anything to do with digital health, like quality of life. Those are big focuses that make up the VST portfolio companies. So not only companies that are making money and doing something disruptive, but you can feel good about a lot of those investments as well.
I think it's important to emphasize that Victory Square it's kind of undervalued. I think the market doesn't really, they're kind of undervalued because you have these 20 companies and they're not really sure what there is, but really there's really an X factor there because again, there's this X factor for these upside surprises like you're getting right now with this, just this week you're monetizing $7.5 million basically, and it's just like something that was like forgotten about almost. I mean, it wasn't your main thing.
Yeah.
You got Fans Unite that spun out last year, which you still have a position in, and that stock is doing well. You have now Game On. I want to ask about the Game On. Give us an update. What's the status of that right now in terms of when is that going to come to the market?
Yeah, so Game On, we announced I think last week that we just closed an oversubscribed $5.8 million financing. And so really interesting about that project, this was something that the demand was significant, but instead of taking it and doing something that was brokered with bankers, we gave VST shareholders a first crack. So companies financed, all of the listing audit requirements have been submitted to the exchange, and now we're just waiting for that green light to be listed. So it should be listed very, 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 very soon. Rockstar team too, again, so it's capitalized, listing very, very soon. In a really good hot space, and their management team is unbelievable. Like their board, you got Take-Two Interactive, you've got DraftKings, Roblox. You've got guys at part of NBA's Top Shop at Dapper Labs. So funded, great space, great team. Listing very, very shortly.
Okay. And they're going to have, what is it, almost $6 million by the time
they've got so they've already got cash in the till too. So they're going to be listing, with they'll probably have little over $7 million kind of in the hopper with a low burn, and a really
yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was worried about the. Yeah, so Game On is going to be in a very good position. That's going to be, so that stock is going to be trading when, by April, end of April.
It should be trading by April for sure. I mean, I think I shouldn't say we're expecting this month, but it's in the hands of the exchange right now. So as soon as they green light it, we've received approval from everyone else. So hopefully by April for sure.
Okay, I want to ask you before we talked about potentially doing a share dividend of a spin. Have you decided how that's going to work?
Yeah, so we are doing a share dividend. So this year we'll be doing a share dividend in Game On.
Okay, we got an internet delay.
Sorry.
Shafin? Okay. Okay, it's frozen. All right, this is Shafin. This type of freezing only happens when people have something really good to say. All right. Okay. You there?
I'm there.
Okay. All right. Let's. Okay. So yeah, let's start again. So the share dividend of Game On, when is that going to happen? Suspense. This is.
Yeah. Sorry. I apologize, Jack. I don't know what's going on today.
Okay. The Game On share dividend. Have you finalized the plans for that?
Yeah. I'm scared I'm going to talk and it's going to freeze. You can hear me now.
You will, okay. For sure. As soon as you say something valuable.
Yeah, Game On share dividend is happening. Immersive. We're going to do a share dividend not just in Game On, but in Game On, Immersive, and there's one other portfolio company that we're going to add to that. It is happening. The timeline of it will be announced shortly. So, but it is happening.
Okay. Do you know how many shares? Do you know what the ratio is? That, or you're going to you have any ideas?
So I think we're looking, because we want to do it in all three companies that this year, we're looking at doing it as a fraction of the market cap. So generally you'd give a dividend and it would be a 5-cent dividend depending on where your share price is trading. We're looking at figuring out the cash value and then converting it into the stock to distribute to our shareholders. So it will happen. I think it's going to be very similar to what you'd see a blue chip company issue on an annual basis a dividend, because we want this to be something that happens on a yearly basis, but it's a very fixed amount that will be that'll be consistent for investors to know it'll happen on an annual basis. So it'll be
that'll be very, very interesting. Once that happens, I think it's going to be a game changer for the stock, because people are going to because people love to get that type of share dividends. It's exciting. Now you can have they're going to have a piece of these different companies. I think that's going to be the key to unlocking the value of VST. One of the key.
Yeah, and on the unlocking of value, I think we talked about, for us, we're long term, so we don't get too faded by the share price on a daily basis, because we know what's under the hood. But we do know that there are things like analyst coverage, working closer with some strategic investors like institutions, that those eyeballs, getting them into the VST story will help all shareholders long term. So there are things around bringing strategic investors into the business and specific institutions so that the business does get covered. Because I think it's that coverage that'll get it to a wider audience, get those institutional buyers in, that will help all shareholders kind of in the company long term. Because we're long on this. We know that we're not going away.
So you have some average that's going to start shortly? You're expecting?
Yeah, so I mean, the one challenge with, and I think anyone that's been on the show that's in the company perspective realizes that a lot of investment banks will hold this carrot, like come and do a financing with us and we'll cover you. So, we're having to evaluate all different types of situations, but long term, we know that we need to get coverage to get the story in the eyes of institutions, which will really help all shareholders in it, because they'll come, they'll buy, and they have a long-term kind of vision. So we expect to get coverage very, very shortly.
Okay. Okay. No, interesting. So, but the Game On deal, that was a non-broker deal. You did that just with shareholders, no bank.
We sent, so basically what we did is we sent an email to all of our everyone in the VST ecosystem to allow them to participate. And then when that leaked, we had brokers and bankers reaching out to us to jump in. I mean, I think Matt Bailey, the CEO of Game On, I think, he had probably 5 or 6 times what they took in demand. And it was hard to squeeze people back, but we made a point. Anyone in the VST ecosystem that requested a participation, we made sure that they were fit in and we got their allocation in first. So.
Okay, yeah, because Matt, when Vahid brought him on last month? Yeah, I mean, he had a great presentation. I think the audience was very, very impressed. I mean, our audience was super impressed by Matt and what he's doing.
And they'll be more impressed when they see him list. I mean, I think they've got some amazing things going on. And keep an eye out for Immersive. So Immersive's dropping next in a similar fashion.
Okay, and what is that? And when is that going to come out? What's
Immersives are virtual and augmented reality business. They've been in business for a couple of years, over $1 million in revenue. They've built an amazing, I don't want to give it away, but amazing VR experience that, works well during a pandemic and post-pandemic. And I think they're getting, they've worked with clients like eBay, Intel, Allegiant Airlines, ESPN, they've got an amazing roster. We're wholly owned by VST, doesn't show up on the books. We're spinning them out too as well. And I think similar to what we did with Game On, we're going to send an email to all of our VST shareholders to give them first crack at Immersive before it drops. And it's dropping soon, so keep an eye out.
Okay, what's any timeline?
Well, we're expecting Immersive to be listed, in Q2. So
okay.
Yeah, Q2 of this year. So again, because it's wholly owned, it's been audited, and it's kind of gone through all that process. But they're hitting an inflection point right now, and they've dropped a new product that's going to be fully launching in the summer. And so we want to line everything up because they're getting a lot of buzz around it. Forbes just actually covered one of their new products.
So what was that?
Forbes, sorry, just covered the new product. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Okay. Okay, Shafin, let's wrap up. What else do you have? What else is in the pipeline for VST next 30 days?
Yeah, so there's a number of things. So we talked about, we're hoping Game On is getting listed. We're going to drop Immersive, so keep an eye out for that. We've got a corporate update that just went out today that gives a bit more coverage on some of the other portfolio companies that we haven't talked about. We've got a new roster of companies kind of in the hopper that you'll be hearing about in the renewable energy space, plant-based space, NFTs, digital asset management.
NFTs, we got to get the NFTs. That's the hottest thing.
Well, so it's again, these are things that have been working on for 2 years, right? So it's not a new concept. I think a lot of people are hearing about it, but so yeah, I think big catalyst. Keep an eye out for Game On listing, Immersive, email to VST shareholders to participate, analyst coverage. New investments in the portfolio, so commercializing some stuff that you hadn't heard about. I mean, you heard about Argo in the VPN, but wait till you see some of the other stuff that's coming out.
Okay, no, it's really incredible because everybody wants to invest in the big theme. I always thought, hey, this is one thing you want to be investing in something which is riding a big trend, and you're really like Victory Square. I mean, you're really riding 20. I mean, like every major trend, whether it's, and these are things you're not just jumping on this week. I mean, this is stuff that
for years
you were working on 3 years ago, whatever it was. It's been so.
These are seeds planted 3 years ago. That's why we're always going to have a first mover advantage on everything.
Okay, excellent. Shafin, I want to ask you. So we're gonna I guess we're gonna have Vahid on probably in a week or so. He's gonna be introducing the new companies. That's what we're gonna be doing, right? He's gonna be bringing on the CEOs and all that. Let's wrap up. Our favorite question to ask here is at the end is, in your opinion, right now, top 3 reasons for investors to want to own VST shares today.
Yeah, I would say the first is, I think people invest to make money. VST, the entry point for VST right now to make money is great. So I think that's the biggest catalyst. The second, when you make an investment, you want to mitigate your downside risk exposure. We've got over 20 portfolio companies in there. So, you're not jumping into something that, that has a risk of just being a fad. So there's diversity in that investment to mitigate your risk exposure. And the third, you can feel good about what you're investing in. A lot of our companies are quality of life type businesses, just looking at the stuff that's happening in the digital health space. So I would say, A, to make money, it's a great entry point. 2, mitigate your downside risk exposure. You're getting access to a number of companies and feel good about what you're investing in. And like I said earlier, Victory Square, I mean, the way we want you to think about it, it's the forever stock. It's a stock you put a ring on. So ring on it.
It's the unicorn fund, 20 plus potential unicorns in there.
Yeah.
Multiple shots on goal.
Shots on goal. Well, no, unicorns, because shots on goals, yeah. Or yeah.
Exactly. All right, Shafin, thank you again. We'll catch you on the next live stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining today's live stream. We'll see you again.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.